Hello, good to have you on the program. This time it is the Polity on Kaftan Television, King Adawale Film Theatre Arts Network Television. And of course, each afternoon that it happens, all through the weekday, we discuss the polity. And today, like every other day, we will get the current matters and the polity, and that's what we will discuss. Well, there has been a talk about certain things that have been happening within the political party activities, and these are the things we want to share. We'll have from the opposition a lot happening. The PDP, the Labour Party, the SDP, all. We'll talk about this day, certain things that have happened with them. With the PDP is the suspension of the case of the national secretary and the trouble all around it, the confusion all around it. Up till now, it's still going on. We want to share. And even what the INEC told them as well, the INEC has asked PDP to show who their national chairman, national secretary is. And from there, we'll also talk about the things that are going on in the SDP, the purported, or not just purported any longer, the controversial suspension of the national chairman of the SDP, and all that follows it. Not just the national chairman, the youth leader, and financial secretary, national financial secretary. So these are some of the things we want to talk about, and look at the matter of defections, the cases of defections that PDP and the Labour Party are suffering at a time like this, and a lot concerning this. Okay, Chukwuemeka here, and on the program this day, I will not be alone. Not only will I talk about it as an individual, I would also share with another colleague, a broadcast journalist who is very, very current when it comes to all these, and we'll have him here to talk about Edwin Philip, and then we'll share all this together. Edwin Philip, good to have you on the program today again.
Good to be here again.
Yes.
We take a ride till top of the hour. Moving.
Yes, and we want to find out the fact that as we are going on with this, that a lot more will be brought to bear as we discuss. Of course, you, dear viewer, you would also be opportuned to bring your own side of the story, because there will be the moments we will open up the lines for you to talk with us and to say what you think about the activities and the goings on and the political terrain of Nigeria. And then there's also the talk about the coalition party and the brouhaha. So we'll talk about all that. There are people that are the key fellows there we'll also see and talk about on the program. Welcome again. It's the polity. We'll take a break and return and start the serious talk. Oh, good to have you here again and back. And we'll say that we have given the topic for our discussion today, which I expect to see right away, and that way we'll go on to talk about it. The crisis that we have in the opposition parties in Nigeria. And the first thing we want to also talk about there is I think it's the PDP matter. Is it the national secretary?
The issue around the secretary.
The secretary, PDP's national secretary confusion, really. And so we want to talk about that a bit. Then we'll also return to this very pressing one of the SDP suspension of the national chairman, Shehu Gabam, and other top officers over alleged financial corruption. Though, of course, we have had Gabam say that, in actual fact, let's do a little tweeting of this matter. Let's just talk about Gabam first of all. Then we'll return to the PDP story. Right. Yes, and that is that Gabam's suspension was announced on Tuesday, and that was in a statement signed by Araba Rufus Aye Nigba, the party's national publicity secretary. And so they said he was suspended over alleged over grave allegation of financial misconduct, and including the alleged embezzlement and diversion of parties' fund. Gabam's suspension is what the statement really anyway confirmed the suspension and of Zenadi Clarkson, the national auditor, and Uche Chukwuma, the national youth leader. According to the statement, this decision followed a resolution reached during a National Working Committee NWC meeting, where overwhelming evidence was presented, in quote, overwhelming in quote, presented linking the three officials to unauthorized financial transactions and movement of funds from the party's accounts without due approval. And the NWC said the suspensions were made pursuant to Articles 19(1), 19(3) I and 19(5) of the SDP Constitution 2022 as amended, which empowered the committee to act against any official found to have compromised the party's integrity. The exercise of its exclusive powers, the NYC has approved that immediate suspension of the national chairman over grave alliances, as we've mentioned, and to ensure uninterrupted leadership, the NWC announced that Dr. Sadiq Umar Abubakar, Deputy National Chairman, has been directed to assume the role of acting national chairman pending the outcome of investigations. And an interim investigative panel has also been established to audit all party financial records and recommend appropriate disciplinary measures or legal action against the suspended officers. Our integrity, I want to quote them now, our integrity as a political party must be upheld at all times, the NWC emphasized. And noting the suspension was necessary to reassure Nigerians of the party's zero tolerance for corruption and abuse of office. The statement revealed that the misappropriated funds run into hundreds of millions of naira, including money realized from the sale of nomination forms from the during the 2023 general elections and other party revenue sources. The SDP disclosed that it has notified the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, along with anti-corruption and security agencies, of the suspensions of the ongoing investigations. The general public is hereby requested to be appropriately guided by this development. The suspension takes immediate effect. That's what this statement said, and that's the conclusion of it. But after the statement, Alhaji Gabam has led the SDP, who we know, he has led the SDP since 2023 elections, positioning the party as a third force alternative in Nigeria's highly polarized political landscape. His leadership, however, has come under scrutiny and allegations of mismanagement and party fund irregularities. And incidentally, after all this, he himself, Gabam, has said that he doesn't agree with that suspension, that it was a kind of thing that came through the coalition. Yeah. That is the coalition forces that have led to that talk. I don't know. How do you see this? I'll still get what he said, but then before then, how do you see it?
You know, it's the issue around the SDP is just the issue around other political parties in Nigeria, talking about opposition party. And the ruling party may not be immune to this because they are same bandwagon, if you ask me, because political parties in Nigeria are special purpose vehicle, the SPVs. So in that sense, anybody can jump on any and then travel to the distance or wherever he or she wants to. So they basically like ideology, and then with the being bereft of ideologies shows that they can be tossed around by every wind of doctrine and whatever it is. But then for the SDP, this was this we saw it coming with the coalition or with the third force that they did. What they did in last election, 2023 election, it was groundbreaking. For instance, a state like Nasarawa, where they got a senator, 2 House of Reps member, and then they got like 3 House of Assembly members. That's just nearby Abuja here.
Yes,
so
yes.
that was also groundbreaking, and it would have happened in other states. So the SDP was a formidable force, and it still should be. That's why you see when some persons, I call them strange bedfellows, who decided to leave the ruling party or the other opposition party, were looking at picking the SDP, the Social Democratic Party, as a kite that they will fly their political ambition, or as a vehicle that they would drive to their political destination or destiny. But then, as it were, it seems to meet a brick wall, or a dead end, or something that will not be successful. And we saw them jumping ship or looking for political alternative. We see the ADA, the rest of the parties, and the rest, and so on. So Shehu Gaban, until yesterday, purportedly was suspended. And then, according to him, he wasn't suspended because those were done through the back door and not pulling party principle and thereabout. Then it seems that factionalization in our political parties has become what it is. From time immemorial, we see we have different factions loyal to whoever they want to be loyal to. And I keep saying, maybe we see the hand of Jacob, and the answer of Esau, because of the hairy nature, and the voice of Jacob.
Yes.
But then that is what Gabon is alleging, that the coalition, you saw the first person who was a bit unhappy with the current president of Nigeria, talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was former governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency
El-Rufai. Yes.
So El-Rufai became estranged with the president, and some of us saw that it was so early for him to pick a political platform, or maybe he was trying to say that he is the first to be there, and joined the SDP, hoping that other members, other people who were angry with the current leadership of the country would join him. And then he saw that others, there was a kind of cold feet among his political fellows, and he stayed there. With him coming there as a strong force, as it were, was meant would have or destabilize the party at some point. For Shehu Gaban, who is picking that sentiment of coalition, and we all know that El-Rufai is part of the coalition, and amidst others. And I don't think El-Rufai and other people who may have want picking a Nigerian term, hijack the party, would have gotten the leeway to hijack the party, because if such force come in, they want to take over the party, just like other governors now who defected from the other political parties now automatically become leaders of the political party in their state. For instance, we have Delta and Akwa Ibom, where there are controversies among who should be the leader of the party, APC. We have Omogege in Delta State. We have Neto Nwoku, who are saying that they came first, they had worked for the party. So why is the governor and all the people who decamped are now becoming leaders in their respective wards and constituencies and thereabouts. So these are the issues. So whatever is happening to Shehu Gaban, whatever is happening to SDP, is what has happened to other political parties and what has become a political culture. And becoming our political culture is that there's this issue of the politics of banana peels. Just said, I keep this, and then you are sidetracked and you maybe slip and fall. And for crying out loud, I keep saying too that in Nigeria today, if a searchlight is beam on you, there will definitely your skeleton will be revealed. Now, I'm not in the position to know the level of allegation, talking about the financial misappropriation level against Gaban and his other co-travelers, as mentioned in that report, and what transpired and led to the publicity secretary. I don't know at what level should the publicity secretary be the one to announce, or maybe as a spokesperson of the party, maybe.
Yes, so what he has done is what, according to their statement, what they Constitution
yes.
has approved.
Yes.
So I think what he's doing is in line with the Constitution.
But then is that a searchlight was beamed on him, and we all know that the way it is in Nigeria today, you can't keep a cat and maybe a fish together, and then you don't expect that to the cat will not smell the fish and thereabout. So at this point in time, is now becoming a case of allegation or allegations against Shehu Gabang and the people mentioned there. So it's becoming a case that he have to purge himself of that allegation, either through litigation or other legal means. But then he says he's still holding on to the lever that he's still the chairman of the party, pending when all matters will be resolved, maybe through political solution, as it were, or through a certain avenue, which I think the party should explore in as much as they are still a force to be reckoned with.
Looking at it, you see that somewhat there is a little confusion that is in the SDP at a time like this, and though Gabam has made it clear that it could be, it's most likely that it's the coalition that's trying to do this, and you've tried to explain a bit of it. We'll still want to watch and see how it goes, and to find out more what has eventually become of Gabam and the two other fellows that were suspended along with him. You know, he has said that he is not on any suspension.
Yes.
That's why we said it's controversial, because we're not sure whichever, but then he has said his own. We're yet to hear from the others after his own statement to confirm what has been done by the committee, though the NWC has approved of it.
Yes.
But then the NWC without the chairman, without the man that is in charge of the finances and the youth leader, I wonder. Well, they have their BOT anyway, just as you reminded me. So we could hear the final thing from the BOT. And now that's the much we can take from that particular talk, but they're all the same. Anyway, we can still let people talk when it's time to talk about it. And so we can say that we would also look at the other talks we have on this matter today. And that other one has to do with the PDP. And we want to find out what they are saying about the PDP's national secretary position. What is happening about it? What is Anyanwu doing? What is the other fellow whose name I also remember, Uche is doing? And all that put together. What is it that is happening that the PDP cannot settle and face the matter that is ahead of them? That's the question that we need to ask. People's Democratic Party, what's up with you and what's up with your national secretary position? Because this seems to be a point and a question that seems to have been lingering for a while now. It should have been handled and cleared by now, but then you know better what you want. Someone said in the morning that if it is the national secretary position that is the problem, why not let this man Anyanwu conclude his tenure? If you say it's not his tenure and you're going to have the convention or something like that towards the end of the year, let him finish it so that you have peace, and when you get there you now elect someone afresh. But these are the things, part of the politics that we have seen. And well, as it goes on, the chairman of INEC asked a question, and I saw it in the front page of one of the newspapers today, said, where is your national secretary, or who is your national secretary? Of course, this gets to make it the more a problem for them. I know that this INEC chairman didn't ask that question just for the sake of asking. Let's believe that he's not trying to mock them because of the way he asked that question. You know,
Incidentally, I was there at the INEC headquarters yesterday.
Okay.
When that poster was put on, but then it wasn't put that way.
Yes.
But then the paper, we journalists were what's called interpretative journalism.
Yes.
It was interpreted because according to the chairman of INEC, where there was a meeting yesterday at the instance. The meeting was at the instance of the political of the PDP, and then what happened is that in the 100th neck of the party, that's the National Executive Council, the last time. So they had the 100th edition of their neck, and the neck notification was sent to INEC, and was signed by only the chairman. So by that. That's
scheduled for 30th June.
Yeah, so the
section of the National Secretary was not signed.
Was signed, so it makes it invalid.
Yes.
So INEC cannot honor it.
Yes.
According to the INEC chairman, that for them to have celebrated or had the NEC meeting for 100 times, that means they've had for 99 times.
Yes.
They've complied with the extant rules.
Yes.
Of making sure that they
National Secretary.
It's like signing. And according to the national chairman too of INEC, that some time ago they sent a letter to INEC, to the commission, signed by Anyanwu. The next time they now said, okay, it's not Anyanwu, it's Uche. Yes, was Uche Okoye.
Uche Okoye, okay.
Then he moved from Uche Okoye, it became Saboye, and then from there again Anyanwu.
Back to Anyanwu.
Then the last time, no secretary. So if there's no secretary, so that question arises: who is your secretary? So I think the PDP, for whatever accusation they might use and whoever, they were moving at a position of self-destruct. They are the people sabotaging themselves because their internal mechanism is not in order, just as you said earlier. So if we have few months to the national to the convention, be it a special convention, be it an elective convention, or be it whatever convention. So we have few months for that to happen. And I keep saying, yes, if the national chairman, the secretaryship is becoming the problem, how about the national chairman? The national chairman was supposed to remain in the North Central. Remember, IU was only suspended at some point, and the Magun came in acting capacity because he was in that position to assume, coming from the region. And if we were supposed to refer to the North Central, the Magun is not supposed to be there for this long. So we should also be talking about should the Magun be staying or have stayed this long as the chairman of the party as against the constitutional provision of the North Central occupying that seat. Now, how did it begin? The beginning of this crisis, crisis is when Anyanwu was seeking to become the governor of Imo State.
Yes, when he wanted to contest.
Yes, and then he was like he should have resigned.
Yes, and but then they say that in the constitution it's not a must that you resign.
But, after all, the governor of Plateau State, who was the party chairman of that state, PDP party chairman of the state, was still a party chairman and contested to be governor, and he won.
Before handing over.
Resigning. So now, that's why when it went full circle to the Supreme Court reverted them back to status quo. That's what INEC is telling them. The Supreme Court say, okay, go back to status quo. Have you explored the internal mechanism of the party? What is happening around there? So now, the issue here is beyond Anyanwu contesting to be governor or being the secretary. The issue is about loyalty. That Anyanwu is loyal to the minister of the FCT, whom they see as a clock in the wheel of the party. But then, if he's the clock in the wheel of the party, you didn't have the lever, as we will say it in Nigeria, to suspend him. And he keep daring you do this and see what will happen. And you see that so he keep arranging all these things. And before you know, his friends who were in the G5 when he was governor are now in the BOT.
Okay. Because we've taken some time, I want to say that we will also have the the phone lines there for you to call in, and we'll get back to you in a moment, and we'll get you the phone lines to call. Yes, we're taking a break for a minute, then we'll return to with our phone numbers, with our phone lines. Oh yes, and we're still here. The phone line for you to call is 080-299-38365. I'll mention it again. 080-299-38365. Okay, so you're free to call in at a time like this, so we can hear your part of the story. But what we're just concluding is the talk about the position of the National Secretary of the PDP, which I still insist is in a confusion right now, and that's why they have also gone to the INEC to sort it out. Well, we're still on. We have other things to say. We've already mentioned SDP's National Chairman's controversial suspension with some of the ESCO members. And we are still going to talk about the fresh defections that have hit Labour Party and the PDP, as well as the coalition party brouhaha, I want to say. So these are two other things we want to talk about. But we've discussed the PDP's thing and the SDP problem as well. And we're still on. So as we wait for your call, we'll move further. We'll move further. We'll talk about the coalition party brouhaha. Even as you have seen, there is the confusion between the people who are supposed to be the arrowheads in that coalition party matter. We've been told that Amechi has had disagreement with that is Rotimi Amechi, former governor of Rivers State and former minister for transport, and had had misunderstanding with the former governor of Kaduna State. That's talking about El Rufai, and alongside that of had the same confusion with also the former vice president Atiku Abubakar. These three men we have are not in not quite in an agreement. In agreement over the matter that has to do with this talk about the coalition. So there is still a confusion amongst them now. I don't know whether you had anything about that, or you know anything about that confusion.
Yeah, the confusion. Yes. We all know about our political party in Nigeria is still a lack of ideology. I revert back to the special purpose vehicle leading them to their destiny or doom, as it were. But then you see the coalition, the journey towards looking for a platform. According to them, they feel that most of the platform has been infiltrated by the ruling party. So they can't go there. They have to look for a fresh, what we call a virgin platform to launch their ambitions. And these are very or highly ambitious personalities, if you ask me. Rufai want to be politically relevant. In Nigeria, after leaving power, power leaves you. So power has left Rufai even in his home state, where it's almost like a personal non grata there, because the governor doesn't look at his face. Now some of his policies are being reversed there, and he's not happy for a man who has seen power since 1999. Yeah. So he's not happy. And then Rotimi Amechi was a governor from two-time governor. Yeah, in fact, two-time. He was Speaker of the State Assembly. Yes. He came as a legislator, and then some of them they don't know any other job than politics. Yes. Amechi, from being a speaker or as a assembly member, became a speaker, became a governor, and he became a minister for throughout basically 8 years of President Buhari. Yes. And he wanted to be the president, yes. And that favored him because of the political arithmetic that he miscalculated or whatever happened. So now they want to be relevant, and the current government is not looking towards that direction. And this an article seems to say that becoming the president is his lifelong ambition, and this is what he might or he should have before he meets his ancestors. So these are all very ambitious personalities, and you can't tell me that there will not be fireworks among them.
And for Atiku being the vice president, remember he first of all won the position as the governor of the state.
Yeah, in Adamawa State.
Adamawa State. Though he never became the governor because of the fact that he was picked by Obasanjo to be the vice president.
And then since '93, remember he was also as an aspirant.
Yes.
Yeah, in SDP in 1993.
Yes.
And then all through that period of time, he never had any other job than doing politics.
Yes.
And then all of them, they want to crown their effort in being
the presidency.
Presidency. And these are all ambitious personalities.
Yes,
and who knows what Erifai want to be in the next dispensation. So there's bound to be this fracas. There's bound to be these issues happening. So with this, and agreeing or not agreeing, Erifai had to pick a tent in SDP, and who knows if he wants to join them in another coalition. Then the agreement will be or maybe as who becomes the president, who becomes the vice, who takes what, when, and how, as politics is being defined by Harold Laswell. So if all of this are happening, so we should expect that there will be trouble. And some of them might want to say that the trouble is being sponsored from outside to destabilize them. I think I don't like picking that angle, because you know that you are on a mission, and this mission must be accomplished, and it doesn't really matter who should be the pilot, since you guys are all pilots.
Co-pilots. Co-pilots towards that goal, to achieve the goal.
Of course, when the chips were down, this present president, talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave an Atiku a platform to run under ACN. Yes, so he was the leader of the ACN, and he didn't take the ACN as the party to fly. He now give Atiku the party to fly the ACN kite. So it means that somebody, if they really have the interest of the masses at heart, they should allow whoever to take the leadership and then fly the kite or the pilot the plane, as it were. Now you see they are very ambitious, or I can say overtly ambitious, as it were, and this will be what will ground their flight. So with this happening now, who to be, who not to be, and you see with this happening, you see that and there were the defections too happening. I don't know if you had asked me about the defection or just about the coalition, right?
Yeah, the coalition.
Now with the coalition coming now, we see that since it was bound with no ideology, no strange bedfellows.
Yes.
Now the problem of Amechi is not a problem of Erifai.
And it's not the problem of Atiku Abubakar.
Yes. So
and above all else, if Atiku would not be the presidential candidate of this coalition, I don't know how it will go. Because, as you said, it seems that this is his lifelong ambition. And there is nothing else he can go for less than being the president, because he's been the vice president.
Yes.
I think he's borrowing a leaf from the American president,
Abraham Lincoln?
Not Lincoln, the one that contested for so many years and afterwards, before he became the president.
Yes.
The one that was shot dead.
Okay, Robert Kennedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was after so many years of struggling, John F. Kennedy. After so many years of fighting for it, he went for lesser positions, and he kept losing, he kept struggling, until eventually, I think it was on his 12th or so try that then he became the president. I guess that's one thing that keeps fueling that desire to fight for Atiku Abubakar.
But Atiku, for Kennedy, he was on the same platform, political ideologies, and in Senate climb or mature climb, where politics is played as ideological, or as a religion.
Yes.
You pick a tent or pitch a tent in what you believe, because the Democrat, the Republican have different ideologies. Some are far right, some are far left, some are centric, some are this, some are and with this happening, you see that the issue here is that no ideology. He keep moving from one party to the other. At some point, he was in APC. I mean Atiku. Yeah. So the Nigerian system is also happens or is happening to Atiku, where Bele first, as we will say it, anywhere Bele first. That's why it is. So if Bele is facing SDP, he will go there. Now if Bele is facing ADA, he will go there. And with this, for some of us, we may see him not to be a very serious person, because if you're not serious, the people will not take you seriously. And now I would have said he should take a break and then disappear from the scene and come back refreshed. Because the opposition political parties, okay, now the ruling party now are now telling us or are now mocking him that he's a serial contestant.
Yes.
And being a serial contestant, and each time you fail, you become a subject of mockery.
Please, let's take this call from Awusko. Awusko from Kaduna, you're calling. You're the first caller towards the end of the program. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Awusko.
You guys are doing a nice work.
Thank you so much, sir.
My friend Munashi is troubled.
Yes, something like that.
All right. Opposition parties in disarray.
Yes.
Really. You see, just as your guest has been saying in that studio, our politicians of nowadays, of this generation, they don't have philosophy. Their philosophy is that of the belly, that of the shaking lucre. That's what they are looking for. They don't have the interest of the Nigerian masses at all. They don't. That's why they jump from one party to another, jump from another to another, form alliance, form coalition, just to get access to the national tier. And probably and most acceptably to steer, not to develop Nigeria. And that is why they've seen that Nigerians are gullible. Nigerians are gullible. They've used religion, they've used ethnicity to divide us. And that is why they are sailing smoothly and doing whatever they like. Since 1999 that we've gone into politics,
yes,
democracy. What has democracy brought to the ordinary Nigerian? They'll tell you freedom to speak. It's freedom to speak. What is going to give us employment, give us job, give us good hospital, give us good roads?
No.
It's freedom to speak. Democracy is all about bringing development. And any politician that is not able to give development to the Nigerian people is an absolute failure, a colossal one. Look at the security situation in Nigeria. Nigeria is sliding to be in a state of ungovernable. You see, which is quite very wrong. Therefore, I'm not calling on any politician. I'm calling on Nigerians. Please, it is a war between the oppressor and the oppressed.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Awusko. Thank you so much, Awusko. At least we've got the message. And what you want is that the Nigerian populace will come out, because the populace happens to be the one that we happen to be the ones that are the oppressed, and all these politicians are the oppressors. Thank you for your message, Awusko. And Ibrahim from Gwagwalada has just made his call, so let's hear him. Ibrahim, please reduce the volume of your TV set, please.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
I can hear myself, please.
Good afternoon to you. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, let's go on.
Better now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Opposition parties in disarray.
Yes, sir.
My regards to your guest there.
Thank you so much.
I think it's not a new thing in Nigeria, or opposition parties, or even incumbent political parties to be in disarray. And it's due to what your guest has said, lack of ideology. Partisan politics ideology is lacking in the whole system. And individual politician principles is also lacking. So it's all about pursuit of ambitions. Sometimes personal ambition and sometimes group ambition, which you cannot divorce from each other. They all go together.
Yes.
Before you can have group ambition in your mind, you must have that personal ambition as well. So politically, all are acceptable. But then, the issue is, how should this coalition go in order to achieve its goal? We have seen the power of coalition. It was coalition that removed an incumbent president that brought in APC. So the power of coalition cannot be overlooked.
Yes.
And before coalition can become coalesced and galvanized and consolidated, a lot of opposition must come in. Even the incumbent party must have a hand in disrupting it, which is about what you are seeing today.
Okay.
So it's a normal thing in party politics. The only thing is that the people forming the coalition should know that it's all about consensus building, discipline of personal ambitions for the collective ambition.
Okay, please
Just
make
like one of the members said,
just 5 more seconds.
if they do not keep personal ambitions aside, if they do not keep personal ambitions aside, they might not be able to form this coalition.
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
El-Rufai said they want to send the incumbent president back to Lagos. And that takes a lot of work.
A lot of work
When
indeed.
they want to send him back to Lagos, he said Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are under intense insecurity. Nigerians are crying every day. On that platform, if they're able to form this coalition and bring all necessary forces on board, they will achieve their aim. There's one factor why they might not achieve their aim is one person's ambition that may not be controlled.
Yes.
That is the former Vice President Atiku.
Yes, Atiku Abubakar.
His ambition is a burning flame. He wants to be a president by all means. And that is why his principle in the illness now is just all that is known is his ambition. They have to appeal to him to keep his ambition aside, and a person that could contest and win that seat for the coalition should be watching. And it's being intoned that that's why it should be from the south, not from the north. You remember, it was ambition of the former Vice President Atiku that disrupted and destroyed the PDP.
Yes.
And that destruction is still burning that party today. So you should be able to subscribe this ambition to the collective ambition of the coalition in order to succeed. However, as I said, coalition is constitutional, defection is constitutional, everything you want to do, because the constitution has not stopped anybody from defecting from one party to the other, whether from the incumbent party to the opposition party. That's not also. The constitution is silent about that. So let us exploit it. It's the issue of freedom of association, freedom of association, and freedom of pursuit of ambition, whether collective or individual.
Thank you.
So as long as everything is constitutional,
I found out that we still have time. You're gone?
that's not contribution.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. It's a pleasure having you again. Please keep calling. Thank you so much. That was Ibrahim from Konkolada calling us. And we're still on. The coalition talk is what we are on now. But before then, we had talked about the problem of the SDP national chairman that was suspended alongside the treasurer and the youth leader. And then, sorry if it's not treasurer, I think it's the auditor, and the youth leader. Then again, there is the problem and confusion that has gone on for a while with the PDP talking about the national secretary. And we're now talking about this coalition. Then again, we have the other one that has to do with Defections. This matter of defections has been going on, and people keep leaving parties and going to other places. Even where Ibrahim just mentioned,
it's conditional.
Yes, that is. So this, what is it that this? Well, there must be something they are looking for. There must be something they are seeing in that new party, that is new to them, they want to go into. Just remember, you mentioned that in Delta State, there is a confusion already as a result of that.
In Akwa Ibom,
Akwa Ibom, there is also as a result of that.
Yes.
Because how can you, just because you're the governor, you come in, all the years that these fellows have been put into work to achieve that length, that strength they have had before you came in, will be wasted, and everything will be handed over to you. They need to look at that. Please, let's talk about it.
Let's start from Akwa Ibom, for instance. In 2011 was bloodshed in that state, where the former minister for state for the FCT, about John Akpan Odoedege, former senator, was the candidate of the ACN then, which later became the APC. There was carnage in that state because the PDP has sworn that PDP is like a religion in that state.
Yes.
No APC, no opposition party can penetrate.
Yes.
So in most of the places in Ekadekbene, in Uyo, in Eket and the rest, carnage. The state was held still because, and then bloodshed as was reported. I think I was there around that period. So you see, in Delta, the same thing had happened. Omar Ogoge has suffered some of those issues in Delta State, and he came out strong. He contested. Before now, he used to be one great Ogboru.
Yes, he used to be great
Ogboru who had worked, and then before you know, he became tired, and then Omar Ogoge came on board, and so it went. And you see, these are some of the issues. But then, on the issue that's a serving governor or a serving personality can leave his party on the guys or on the platform on the criteria or the guys that there are controversies in their political parties. That is the alibi that some of them are taking, are using to jump shift. That's because there are crises. Now look at the PDP. There are imminent crises in PDP which will warrant that anybody could jump shift due to that. And then and also the factor of the ruling party wooing them, because the ruling party keep wooing other political party, come join us. In fact,
but also I won't forget that in Akwa Ibom there was no problem in PDP before this man left.
Yes, unless the national. Now the problem with Pastor Omoino, now PhD, is trying to be to patronize the president for appointing their son, Chief Gospel Akpabio, as the Senate President. So like they should be in one umbrella, now carrying one broom, not an umbrella anymore.
Exactly.
So now with this happening, that and it must have been some high-level persuasion. When Akpabio was appointed as elected as the Senate President, so I was at the inauguration party. I saw Omoino of the PDP came there. They shook hands, they embraced. What has never happened in during the Odom period when Odom was a governor. One of them was a governor. There was Akpabio could not even access the state at some point. He lost the censorship of Africa Secretary State, where he had done so much as a governor there, he couldn't win. So when this man came in, I saw that there's going to be some factor of reconciliation, or rub my back, or rub your back. So it would have been a thing of shame for an Akpabio to be a Senate President and the state is an opposition party. So that there's this constant persuasion between from the Senate President. Okay, please, can you do me a favor? Whatever you want. Is it the deep sea spot? Because the current narration there is that the deep sea port at Ibaka, I don't know if you know that, but will become viable and commercially viable And you know, we've been battling with the Papa Tinkan and the rest of the ports in Lagos, and then the seaport in Akwa Ibom is much more deeper than that can bet so many ship and bigger vessels and thereabout. So these are some of the politics that Akpabio sold to Omoino, and then let's be in one fold. And these are the issues. So not necessarily, because in all of his public outing, talking about the governor, he didn't mention the issue of crisis.
Yes.
He only mentioned, let's go to the center and bring the dividends back home.
Yeah, because also there was a time we had a president from the southwest, Obasanjo, and almost all the southwestern states were in the opposition.
Yes.
He didn't force them all to get over. It was after 4 years, after the first 4 years, that fresh elections came, and they swept it almost. What's happening now is that what happened to the southwest governor might happen to Pastor Moino. Yeah, because the fact is that in Obasanjo's case, it wasn't a kind of this sort of thing we're seeing. It was something that was neat. It was as a result of the effort Obasanjo made to put the zone in perfect order with provision of amenities and things like that, that they decided, okay, let's vote for our brother next time.
Yes. Now, in Italy, all the governors lost. They lost when they joined, when they left the party that they were elected them and joined the PDP as it were then. They all lost in droves. But it shows that being at the center doesn't mean that you will win, as in the case of Umoino, as in the case of Oborori of Delta State, and then which might also happen in River State, because that's where it's tilting to in the case of Fubara returning.
Yes, but then there is something about these two state governors that nobody has done before that they are doing. That because you're moving, everybody, every person in the state must follow you.
In fact, for Umoino, he had mentioned that you don't follow me, dropped two commissioners. I think a commissioner dropped a commissioner for special duty and a bomb deep sea port. What was his name? Dropped. And the rest. So even in Delta State, the man that was one of the commissioners that followed him to the APC was also sacked at some point. So it's about state capture. Now, political participation or political association should be free. It should be a
free thing for all.
Now,
if people should not be hoodwinked to get to one place, if not, then you're in trouble. No, it's true that we have had, of course, many times. Adams Oshiomhole has become popular with that statement that
if you join the ruling party, your sins are forgiven. You know, these are some of the issues that
there are no sins yet for these two fellows.
No, they are just freshers in the rest. Now, the issue here is that if, for instance, your appointees are experts, let's go by the issue of appointing experts.
Yes, and now politicians.
Yes, experts, to manage maybe the deep sea port, manage this environment, manage that. So will you sacrifice the expertise rather for equity or political relevance or whatever thing? So that means to say that our politicians, they lack the expertise, they lack their ideology. Okay, if you're my friend, come and eat, and as a commissioner, come and eat as an advisor, and nobody's even advising anybody. I think it was under Suzwan, one of the governor of Benue State, that's appointed a special advisor and warned him not to near the government house. Imagine that you are a special advisor, so you should not even near the government house. So what are you advising me?
I remember also there was this advisor, social advisor to the former governor of Edo State, a professor, who after some months of being there as the social advisor, resigned. And why did he resign? He said that I was appointed a special advisor, but I've never for once met the fellow I'm supposed to advise.
That's it.
So how do I continue doing this job and eating the money that I'm not working for? And being an honest man, he resigned.
He's right. So now for the Labour Party, I was in Abia State during the local government election. That was around November last year. You know that all the chairmanship position of the Labour Party of that state went to the other Labour Party. What's the name of the Labour Party? The other Labour Party that has the ZLP.
Okay,
Zenith Labour Party. Because the governor had issue with the Labour Party. and he advised his cronies to go for Zenith Labour Party. More than 1/3 of the chairman of in Abia's local government system are all from the ZLP.
Just as it happened in Rivers.
In Rivers.
Because the governor asked the members to join the other party since they had problems.
So
the ones who wanted to contest as a local government chairman then.
That's it. So the Labour Party is in disarray. So if people are defecting, they are defecting because of some of the crisis. And you see that like the man who won the Labour Party ticket as I think as Senator or House of Reps in Kaduna, who was only an Okada.
Yes,
motorcycle rider or tricycle rider or thereabout.
Yes.
Then because of the wins of the Labour Party, as it were, he was caught up in the win, bought a form, and he didn't know that people were just voting the symbol of the Labour Party and not minding whoever was there.
Yes.
Because of the obese man.
Yes.
So now he became the House of
Reps.
Do you know that man decamped and joined the APC?
It's quite a shame.
So you see that if such person who had that benevolence, then it said that whose individuals whose kennel were broken or were cracked by benevolent spirit should be grateful.
Yes.
So now such people are not grateful. They took the people for granted. So you see that the system doesn't regard the electorate. So by right we are supposed to be their employers.
Yes.
Accountable to me. Now, if
but they don't care. Just as you said, they don't have regard for the electorate.
For electorate.
They decide whatever they want and ask others to follow.
Yes. So the in Akwa Ibom is even worse.
Yes.
The man lacks diplomacy when he's talking when it comes to politics. He keeps telling you, follow me, I know the way. You just barely become a politician. You don't know which way do you know.
It was Udom that brought you.
That brought you. He was a hotelier. He owned a hotel. From being a hotelier, he became a commissioner. And Udom, who was also a deacon in the church, told the Akwa Ibom people that God told him that this is my successor. Who told you that
we started?
That we are running how do you call it a theocratic system? We are not running a theocratic system. We are running a democratic system that is people oriented, and that happened. And you so becoming the governor, you know so much about more than the people that follow me. I know where I'm going. So what if we are following you blindly, and then this happened? So these are you see the arrogance. The arrogance rather of our politicians, our leaders or rulers as it were. It shows that the people does not matter. So we wish that before you should even defect, as it were, if you must defect, consult the people. And in one of the town halls that Omoino went to, the people, it was a resounding no. That he went to say no, that you are going alone. So that is what the people are saying, and for what I say, I think it's secret, or that says that the voice of the people,
the voice of God,
voice of God,
vox populi, vox Dei.
So that is what, that is why I should be. So we are seeing that we are running a system that negates political science textbooks, that negates government textbooks. So our system is just as it was, only oriented to us only.
We are discussing what has to do with defection this time, so we expect to see the defection story, the talk about this defection, and we are done with the coalition party brouhaha, so it's the defection talk we are on, and we believe that we still expect to receive some calls, and our phone lines are still there. Our phone line is still there, 080-299-38365, 080-299-38365. Please do call in before we round off the program for the day. It's defections now.
Yes.
Party defections that we're talking about now. as it has hit Labour Party and it has also hit the PDP, not just the Labour Party. Yes.
So you see, the issue of bandwagonism, where follow me, I know the road, and it's been said, follow who know road. But obviously you see that this man don't know the road, because he's been moved by sentiment, no ideology. Because my brother is there, let's join him. What if your brother is there just for his stomach infrastructure? You are joining him. And now Akwa Ibom has been so peaceful and has been developing at its own pace.
Yes.
Now you see, it seems to be like a pattern in that state, where the first governor in 1999, I think architect Victor Atta,
yes.
Yeah, brought up a plan, build up on started an airport space. The next governor began implementing that. Before you know, when they now had an airplane, the first state in sub-Saharan Africa to own a plane, a sub-region, how do you call it, a region,
yes,
to own a plane. It's not common. That it shows that there's continuity in that state.
And that Ibom Air is still thriving up to now, working and achieving a whole lot of
like now,
success.
what happened, like the State Assembly seems to have passed a law that no abandoned project. If this person do this, continue from there. So that has been fine. So it was, the state was moving despite at some point being in the opposition when the PDP lost at the center.
Yes.
So it was moving smoothly, just like Delta State and the rest. And who told you that being at the center makes you secure or gives you what you want? Look at Benue. Benue is at the center. What is happening there? Zamfara was at the center, and the crisis was it was still thrown open to crisis until the governor could not even return for his second term and so on. So I'm thinking that we are of the opinion that if the politicians are defecting, Nigerians are not defecting.
Yes, Nigerians know where they have gone to,
yes,
and they want to remain on the line where they are going.
Yes.
We all know about the fact that there are riggings and riggers of elections in our country, but that does not take away from the people what they know and who they want.
Of course, see, I just pray, because at some point they wanted to find a way around it to jail us or to imprison us for not voting. You know, a child, they are beating you, they say you should not cry.
Yes, you know, so, that was a very, very funny, very, very, I don't know what to say that such a thing. Thank God.
The president now withdrew it.
Yes.
I saw it can't see the light of day. Because now, what's happening now is, if the narrative does not change, Nigeria will vote our party, where we preach every day that go and vote, exercise your franchise. I keep saying to people, it shouldn't be because of the fear of the baboons. You plant your corns in your room. Yeah, still go out and plant. One day they may not eat all the baboons. The baboons may not eat all the corns. Some will see germinate and you eat. So what's happening here is that Nigerians are not happy with the outcomes of our various elections. For instance, the last election, heaven and earth was promised. We have so many new voters, people who had never voted, though they were of age. Some were 30, 40s, had never voted.
And remember that the raids came that day, and many people stayed back to protect their votes. And then, because we were all assured that
electronic voting by BVAS and all of those things.
And after everything, that the results will be mentioned in each center before being sent, so that as it is sent, it becomes the same thing with what happened in the center. But we didn't see all these things.
Those things have a way of making people disgruntled, making people feel bad. Of what need should I go and queue, and the result does not count. So if you are talking about democracy, we should be talking about elections that count, that is people oriented, that emanates from the masses, from the electorate. So until maybe we are talking about something else than democracy, because when the president was at the National Assembly during the June 12th presentation or speech or whatever, he now said that trying to answer the question of one-party state, say that it's not a one-party state, that people are trying to bail out from a sinking ship. alleging that other political parties are saying kinship, and he was talking to Parliament, and Parliament is put
a combination of all
political parties.
Yes.
It's put by political parties, and speaking to the Parliament in such manner shows that the arrogance or lack of respect to the Parliament. And when he said that as if he was trying to be a bit reasonable, he now said, he's even happy that you are in disarray.
Because he will not be the one to advise you on how to work and make your system.
But then who told you that?
Not right.
Who told you that the ruling party is not in disarray? There are several people in the ruling party that are disgruntled.
Yes.
That are not happy. Look at what happened in the Northwest, where the sitting vice president was overlooked in the system, in the 2027 political arithmetic. And
it it's been clear, it's been stated today, at least today and yesterday, that they are now working towards bringing Dogara as the next vice president. So what do we say?
Yeah, so that was the arithmetic, that was as the political calculation and the permutations. But then, yes, in the history of Nigeria, since the beginning of system, the candidate most likely choose who to succeed him. And at some point, in Atiku's case, you saw that it was like, okay, for peace to win, come back. They now came back for the second term and the rest. So now we saw that the system is miscued towards some issues that has to do the president. It becomes so powerful that or the ruling party becomes so powerful. I was saying earlier that the ruling party is not immune to this crisis. Now people are only managing the crisis because they are members. Meet them. I was sitting with some persons, and they were saying that in fact we are going to contribute people to the coalition. They are of the ruling party, that they are, instead of them losing, they don't know what will happen. So some persons in the locality, I think they were from River or Delta State, that they are going to do some kind of arithmetic and play a game that okay, some persons in our different communities will join the coalition, so that they should join the moving trend. In case it happens, they don't lose out. So you come to a point in time where mother and father in the same house will share political parties just to see that there's food coming to the house, because it has become instead of being politics, it's now politics. Yes. So it's no more.
If it will be done without bitterness, it's welcome.
It's welcome.
Because I remember sometime in the past when politicians were doing real things, then there was a family that it was like that. The family of the Hebrew in Delta State. They had their members, you know, being in different parties, and they still had their peace in their
home. Of course. So, but no, it's politics with rancor, politics with bitterness, and before you know, they go to your house, beat you up, all of these things happening, and in some state now, they are breaking down businesses of people who are in the opposition. Like now, there's a certain filling station that was there in a certain state for God knows how, when, how it has been there, how long, but then. Because somebody defected to the ruling party and you are not his party man, they will now find a way to make a law or bring a law, or you are working a dead law, or try to invoke what they had overlooked and then bring down that filling station, targeting oppositions. So these are the issues. I just read before I came in here how Peter Obi's brother's company that has been there for 15 years in Lagos being brought down, and in a manner that doesn't it's not acceptable. Because according to the report, the case, who was supposed to be targeted is not even the landlord, somebody who was occupying the place. And when the payloader or the people demolishing were asked, that somebody asked them to demolish the house, on what condition and why. You see, such thing, even if they have some legal backing and without providing them in the black and white, shows the international community or onlookers or whoever as if it is political wish hunting. And these are some of the issues that we think that our political system is too toxic. does not welcome opinions. Where we heard, and we've been told that in politics, the majority will have their way, their say, the majority will have their way, and the minority will have their say.
Yes.
So right now, it's still becoming a crime for you to talk as a minority. If you must talk, join us. Even if you join us, you don't talk. Look at
if you must talk, you have to be what we ask you to say.
So you see, during the Obasanjo era, the people who were opposing the Obasanjo were his political party members. See now, if you talk, they will now ask you, are you still a member of our great party? So if I'm a member of our great party, I should not talk.
I shouldn't say anything.
I should say anything.
Well, thank you so much, Edwin Philip. Thank you so much for being here today again. And we have done it together, and we are happy that it's got to this point. And I want to say, of course, you're already part of this. So you continue being part of it. Yes, and that's how we want to say thank you to dear viewer for being part of all that has happened. I wouldn't forget to thank Awusko that called from Kaduna, and I wouldn't forget to thank Ibrahim. These two fellows called, Ibrahim called from Kwakwalada. Thank you so much, Awusko. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for calling. And someone is making a call now, but of course it's out of time, so we can't take it. Thank you so much for trying to call, though you're coming quite late. And this is how we'll round off the program for today. Let me thank Ihanyu Goji for being there for me. Let me thank Emmanuel Solomon, as well as Victor Adeyeye and Victor Chizea. I wouldn't by any means forget Felix Akinjagula. Let me also thank Ruben Okala for getting us on this program today. Okay, Chukwu here. What am I saying? May the best happen to us all the time.